How did smallpox devastate colonial America's indigenous people? Imagine a disease so fierce that it wiped out nearly 90% of the people it touched. That was the power of smallpox when it arrived in the Americas during the early 16th century. European explorers and settlers brought smallpox with them, and because indigenous populations had never been exposed to it before, they had no natural defenses. The virus spread quickly through villages and towns, causing high fever, rashes, and blisters that often led to death. Entire communities were decimated in just a few years. Some regions saw most of their populations vanish within a decade of contact. This massive loss of life didn't just reduce numbers, it shattered social structures, erased cultural traditions, and left many indigenous groups unable to resist further colonization. The demographic change was staggering. Smallpox, along with other European diseases like influenza and malaria, played a key role in the conquest process. As populations declined, it became easier for colonizers to take control of land and resources. The disease acted as an unintentional weapon, weakening the resistance of Native American tribes. This tragic event is a stark reminder of how disease can shape history, especially when it intersects with conquest and settlement. Over time, efforts to control smallpox, including early vaccination programs, began to reduce its deadly toll. These efforts helped both Europeans and indigenous peoples survive and rebuild. From a Latin cultural perspective, the impact of smallpox is seen as part of the larger story of colonization, where disease was often seen as a divine or natural consequence of expansion. But behind that perspective lies the harsh truth of suffering and loss experienced by indigenous communities. Today, understanding this history helps us appreciate the importance of health measures and respect for cultural heritage. It also reminds us how fragile populations can be when faced with new diseases, especially during times of conquest and initial settlement.